Hello, I am your host, Jenny Oceans. Welcome to Coming Home with Jenny Oceans. This is your authority podcast when it comes all things nervous system. Not for another trendy post or reel on socials. This is actual change for you to understand your nervous system, to understand why mindset alone doesn't work, why understanding that going into trauma release sessions will not change your life if you are not combining the science, the spirituality, the mindset, and the nervous system regulation. This is your podcast where you will learn and understand why your mind and your body is working in a certain way. This podcast is real, raw, and authentic with absolute authority when it comes to all things nervous system. Let's go change your life. Manifestation. It's so woo-woo, and I just don't believe it to be true. It's what so many people tell me. People tell me all of the time that manifestation is woo-woo. Now, I want to explain for you how it works. I'm not going to speak about the manifestation process. I'm going to speak about the neural pathway creation that you choose to create when you choose to become the conscious creator of your life. This episode is going to be short and sweet, and you will be understanding why you're stuck in a loop and how you, as a conscious creator, can choose to create a new reality and stop being stuck in the past. So this morning I sat outside, and for the last few mornings, I've been having the kookaburras coming to visit me. Yes, I put beautiful raw meat out for them. And yes, the beautiful kookaburras come and eat it. Now, there will be a very large majority of people in the world that will hear that and go, yeah, well, no wonder they're coming out because you're putting the meat out and they like to eat the meat. Yes, absolutely. But here's the thing. It's so much bigger than that. I have been creating vision boards for about 20 years, to be honest. My very first vision board was my entire wall in my cafe in Sydney. My first cafe, the entire wall was a vision board. No one knew it was a vision board. It was just lots of beautiful, incredible images on the wall, but they were my vision, my dreams, what I desired. And I talk about this often. There was only two things on there that didn't happen. It was the Rolex watch and the red Ferrari, because really I just wanted it to show off. And I wanted it because I thought that once I have the Rolex and once I have the red Ferrari, I've made it. Now, I had sailing boats on there. No idea. Never sailed in my entire life. No idea why I put freaking sailing boats up there, but I did. And ended up learning to sail and live on boats. Anyway, that's a different story. But 9 years ago, I started working with a coach, and she spoke about vision. I visualize my future, and this is part of what I teach the women inside becoming, is to create your new reality. You need to know what you want, because it's easy to say the things that we want, but why do we want it? If we don't know why we want it, then they're not going to happen. So 9 years ago, when I started first creating my vision script, it's changed many times over the years because I'm constantly changing. But about 5 years ago, I think, just over 5 years, I wrote in this vision script when I visualized my everyday, and writing it as in current reality, like if it's happened already. And I started writing this just over 5 years ago. I said, I wake with the kookaburras. I rise with the kookaburras. And yeah, sure, there's always kookaburras around here. They sit at the front. I can hear them. They're around. I live in Australia. Kookaburras are everywhere, right? But it was a big part of my vision script that as I rise in the morning, as I wake in the morning, I wake by the sound of the kookaburras, and they're part of my morning. And then I'm programming this into my mind, right? Your mind doesn't know what's reality and what's not. And it's a funny one, because reality is whatever we create, right? But I started taking meat out for the kookaburras. The kookaburras always hang around, like they sit on the power lines, right? A few weeks ago, I started walking in the mornings, and I actually woke with the kookaburras. They would wake me same time every single day. You know, nature is incredible. And a few days ago, I started to put out raw meat. I had raw meat. I would normally give it to my dogs, but a few months ago, we had to put down both of our dogs. So I had this raw meat, leftovers raw steak that wasn't cooked because it had fat bits and all the different things on it. And I was like, what am I going to do? I was like, I'm going to feed the kookaburras. So I started putting raw meat out for the kookaburras, and kookaburras starting to come. Now, every single morning, normally around 6:30, the kookaburras will come and they will sit with me in the morning. I'll sit and drink my cacao outside, and they will come and they will eat their meat. And I speak to them. I always speak to the birds. I speak to the birds. I speak to the tree. I speak to the moon, the sun, everything. But for someone watching on the outside, that will just be, well, sure, of course they're going to come and eat the meat. But for me, it's part of my vision script. Your mind doesn't know what's real and what's not real, and what is real and what's not real anyway. If you can see it with closed eyes, it's available for you in the physical, tangible world. If you can reach it in the 5D, if it's available, it is here for you right now, whenever you're ready to step into it. So, how we then create a new reality is by creating new neural pathways. You're always going to go in the path of least resistance. That's humans. You're always going to follow the path of least resistance. Least resistance, if you listen to me before, I speak about the tall grass all around you, super tall grass. Now, there's a path, the path that you've always walked. Automatically, you're going to walk the path you've always walked because you've already flattened the grass and you've created a pathway in the tall grass. Now, if you think you're going to walk a new path, your mind automatically is going to go, that's stupid. There's already a path done for you. So why would you choose to walk a different path? So when you're starting to become conscious and you're starting to realize that there's more to life than just surviving, there's more to life than what you're experiencing right now. You stand in front of this tall grass and you go, I'm going to create my new path. Because a new path means that you're no longer living in the past. It means that you're creating a new reality. Your mind is going to think that's absolutely stupid to try to create a new path when there's already one perfect one created for you. And I want you to remember also that normal is what you frequently experience. Normal doesn't mean it's good for you. Normal doesn't mean that that's what you meant to be doing or meant to be living in. Normal is just what you frequently experience. Normal is the pathways that's already been created for you by your mom, your dad, your um, society, generations, whatever it is. It's just a path that's already been created for you. And most people in the world would just continue walking this path because it's the path of least resistance. It's what everyone is doing. And most people in the world are not questioning their existence. They're not questioning the way they're living. You are different because you're listening to a podcast with Jenny Oceans where we talk about that anything you desire is possible. So you being here, you know that there is a different way of living life than the way people have been telling you to live life. Most people are absolutely closed off to this. They think that I'm just going to do what I've always done. I'm going to do what everyone's always done. And I told this story on Saturday at my full day experience event. And I told a story about the Christmas ham. So there was the family for generations and generations and generations comes Christmas. They cut either short end of the ham off and they put it in the oven. And there was this one of the young girls' daughters, she said, why are we cutting off either side of the ham? And her mum said, I don't know. That's what grandma did. So she goes, Grandma, why are we cutting off either side of the ham? She goes, I don't know. That's what great grandma always did. So she goes up to great grandma. She says, no one ever asked this question before. They've done it forever. No one ever asked a question. And she walks up to great grandma and she goes, hey, why do we cut off either side of the ham? So they've done it forever. No one have ever questioned it because that's what they do. That is the pathway of least resistance because that's what's normal. Normal is what they always experience. And great grandma said, oh, that's because their oven was so small, we could never fit the whole ham in there. So we just cut either side of the ham in to fit it in the oven. And this young girl, she shook her head and she's like, so you mean that now we can put the whole ham in because we obviously have bigger ovens? Great grandma said, yeah, of course we can. Now here's the thing. They have wasted this ham and done something for generations just because that's what's always been done. No one ever questioned it. They just did what they have always done because that's normal. Normal is whatever we frequently experience. It gets imprinted into our brain. It is just what people do in life. So when you come into a space of choosing to remove your blinkers, I like to call it blinkers. If you know horses, racing horses, etc., they have blinkers to not confuse them so they don't see what's happening on the other side of them. They're just looking forward. Now, they want us to live with blinkers on because if we can only see forward, we miss the scenic route of life. We go on the highway and we miss out on life. We just follow because we live in fear, right? So when you become curious and conscious and aware, you're starting to realize, you're starting to question things. You question things. But why? See, listen to this. Children are always told, don't ask so many questions. Don't ask. The kids are curious, man. Their kids are so smart. They're asking us things all of the time. Why do we do this? Why do we do that? Why can't we do it this way? And most of the time, parents are so closed off. They have their blinkers and they go, don't ask so many questions. We just do it because that's what we do. But here's the thing. Why the hell are we doing things that we're doing just because we're doing it? So coming back to creating new neural pathways, it is going to be challenging. Every time you choose to create a new neural pathway, it's going to be challenging. Doing something different than how you've always done it is going to feel challenging in the beginning, but only until you start stepping on that tall grass and you creating a new pathway. And then that's going to become the easy path. That's going to be the path of least resistance. And the old path is going to go up and it's going to disappear, and you've created a new neural pathway. Now, you will continue, if you desire, to create neural pathway for the rest of your entire life. Every time you do it, it's going to feel challenging. It's for someone that goes to the gym, for example. Every time they change the gym routine, it's going to feel challenging until it's not challenging, and then they're going to create a new neural pathway. Someone that's in business, they have a business goal, a financial business goal. To reach it, it's going to feel difficult, challenging in the beginning because they're creating a new neural pathway. Then that's easy as, and then they're going to create a new neural pathway with a different goal, and it's going to feel challenging until it doesn't. It's the same with everything. Deep connection with intimate relationship, communication with your children. It's everything in life. It's your communication with yourself. It is always going to feel challenging until it doesn't. Creating new neural pathway is not woo-woo. It's not just fairy tale manifestation. It is realizing that anything and everything that you desire in this lifetime is available for you. It's just a matter of creating a new neural pathway. All right, everyone, I got to wrap this up. That was a very short and sweet episode. I hope you received so much out of this. Please subscribe, like, comment, share, do all of the things that you know is going to support me in sharing this message with more people in the world. All right. So good to be here with you. I appreciate you. Let me know if you enjoyed the episode. Share with people that might think you too woo-woo because you created manifestation and vision boards. Here's the thing. It's science. It is all science. Sending you lots of love. Thank you for joining me. I'm Jenny Oceans, your host, nervous system and breathwork specialist and advocate for living a holistic life with all the focusing on realizing that we're worthy of all and everything that we desire in this lifetime, and everything is available to us. I'm sending you so much love. Enjoy your day. Talk to you next time. Ciao.